Yeah, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Plug Talk. You know, it's your man D Marachi.
Y'all know me. Say hello to the bad guy motherfuckers.
Um,
We,
yeah, we
I,
I mean, we thought today we was gonna be popping champagne, popping cider, whatever you want to call it, but we got the news that Tory Lanez was found guilty on all three counts.
that's absurd, man. I'm sorry, man. Like, it don't matter what this verdict was because everybody losing in a sense. But based off of what the fuck evidence, transcripts y'all want to grab from that actual court proceeding. I think that's real coincidental now as I look back on it. Yeah, they got cameras and everything. You can watch Young Thug's trial live. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why the media was so shut down in this case. But neither or. It wasn't enough shit proven for anybody to feel comfortable wanting to see that man go to jail. You have to convict somebody beyond a reasonable doubt. That doesn't mean your jury are all going to be a panel of very intelligent motherfuckers who are able to decipher that. And I think that's what happened here. And then you also get in, depending on who the people is, some people that might be racially biased and believe that and don't know nothing about rap. So they believe that any rapper is capable of doing crazy shit because you hear so many rappers doing crazy shit. It could be a combination of a lot of things. But for to come back with all three counts guilty is absurd, man. It's absurd, man. You know what I'm saying? That's and I know how it feels, bro. In real life. In real life. You know what I'm saying? Like the way they described how he looked, he ain't budged. When they said that shit, I can fucking relate, bro. I've been there. And I'm telling you, man, it's fucked up. The thing about it is with him, he most likely get an appeal or whatever. But the fact of the matter is we all, anybody who got some common sense and can actually articulate what's being said to them, especially from these people that was in the courtrooms, man, there's no way any of us really thought that man was going to jail, man. The sloppiest police work that you ever seen done in a case. Let me explain this to you. If you ever get shot, the bullet's gonna come out of you. They don't have the bullets. There is a big difference, first off, just in the principles we know, of getting shot and having fragments in your foot. They don't have any cases. They said the gun was fired 5 times. They got 5 bullet cases. That means none of them bullets went in the mag.
Yo, and for people and to go on the stand and lie and a man still gets found guilty on all counts. I'm flabbergasted, man. I can't even lie to you, bro. I'm
Well,
flabbergasted.
like I said, I've been in this exact position, lost trial before for something I didn't do. I've been in this position before. It didn't have anything to do with a woman at all. So my situation is totally different. It wasn't domestic at all. But it was still for something I didn't do. I just thought in this particular case, where you have such a high profile celebrity that at least has the funding to get the right type of counsel, I thought you would never see it at this level of court, where you're talking about millions of dollars at stake. And I think that's the ignorance in somebody like me because I know how that court of law works, especially against us. I don't remember too many black dudes that I can think of, right? In real life, and I need you to think about this real deeply, and in the celebrity world that do well in the court of law. If you can name me, five people that we knowingly know of that are black men that did well in the court of law and got what we would call justice or fair treatment, I can name you 30 before you get to that five that didn't.
Right.
This reminds me of the Tupac case. I was of age. Well, I wasn't grown at the time of the Tupac case, but I was what was that, 94? About 14, 15. I was old enough to understand, like, yo, this Tupac's a cool. He can get pussy everywhere he want to go.
Right.
He raped this woman, but he still went to jail. He got put in jail for sodomy. We don't know another man on this planet that's been locked up for sodomy, bro. So I know how them systems work. I know how, especially when it comes to this hip hop industry, I know these motherfuckers they pull strings. I want to know, what was Desiree Perez doing at the court proceedings in the first place? That's not nothing that you should really be attending. I could see the day of Meg maybe hitting the stand, but I wouldn't have seen no reason for just to support an artist you're managing. But other than that, I wouldn't have been there that whole time. It was like it was something personal. That's why we want to get into this clip. I think it's very important for everybody to pay attention, listen to, understand, not to respond, not to force your narrative on something. Listen to the response of his father. His father knows his son. I think his father knows he's probably not even capable of this type of shit. All right, drunk or not. I think he understands that what's going on beyond the level any of us do, because we're not in Meg's shoes, nobody's in Tory's shoes. You know what I'm saying? So from the understanding that we have, I think me and you both agree, D. Marachi, that it's almost mind blowing for them to have a guilty verdict on all three counts. But not only that, like I said, we've seen this before, especially in the hip hop world or entertainment or sports world, where these black men just get totally railroaded. They're worth a bunch of money. They are part of these organizations, even down to Plexico Burris, man. We all like, bro, he shot himself. You gonna put him in jail for 4 years? It's not like Plexico Burris pulled his gun with malicious intent. He had a gun on him, which is illegal, charged him with possession, but he shot himself. Honestly, think about the humane shit I'm saying to you. Do you think somebody deserves to go to prison for accidentally shooting themselves? Plexico Burris did a cheddar bob, man, and he went to prison. Yeah. Like Big fought dogs, and he went to prison. Bill Cosby gave women pills that they willingly took on their own. He didn't force them down their throats. He didn't wait till they yawn and hit them with a slingshot shot. They willingly took. Y'all don't see it. Am I the only one to see this? Is it just me?
I mean, what you're saying in a nutshell is, when stuff goes in the hands of a jury and in the legal system, that we get the bad end of the stick as black men.
I have never seen a person to realistically in the court of law to grant somebody, like, okay, in the case of what's his name that got found not guilty, the actor dude, and his wife was saying he did all type of foul shit. Play Edward Scissorhands. What's his name? Damn, what's his name? I can't remember. He white, Italian. Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just got, okay. So in a situation like that, he's getting a jury of his peers, middle class to upper class, majority white folks, maybe a couple token black people there. We all know to get selected to jury duty on high profile cases, you are a person that's never been late on taxes, or probably got a credit score at 850. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
They're not going to the hood to pick a jury.
Mm-hmm.
You got to meet a certain criteria, damn near. So the only way that in Tory Lane and Megan's case they can have a jury of their peers, They jury should have been 7 girls and 5 dudes that look like us.
Yeah.
Because if you white, urban, middle class, 40, 50 years old, you understand very little and care very little about hip hop. So the stigma you have is a black rapper. These rappers are known for shooting themselves or shooting other people. You might not be paying attention to the particulars of a case. And that's where it boils down to the importance of having a jury of your peers. That's why when we got to understand, we can't say the court system fucked up without being able to pinpoint what's fucked up about the court system. The way they go about jury selection is very racist and very biased when it comes to the black male. And sometimes in particular cases when it comes to the black woman as well. I think a lot of women that give sympathy to women's cases, that's why they genuinely, even when they're caught guilty of something, they don't get as much time as men do. So I don't think the playing field is as similar when it comes to black men. But that jury of your peer shit is very important when it comes to domestic cases. Because Johnny Depp fought his shit for a minute as a white man and came and found out she was lying. That jury understood. They connected with them two upper middle class white couples. And they could see the fucked up shit in the bitch that was accusing Johnny Depp of the shit. So in order for them to have a jury, in order for Tory to have a jury, they could see through the fucked up shit the girls were doing to him, it would need to be of his peers. All the motherfuckers who've been doing podcasts and the ones, even the people who was in the courtroom coming out giving, information, even the ones that had already had the transcripts to the case at hand by the time they came out. Those are eligible candidates for what we call a jury of our peers. These police officers that came up there and testified didn't check no IG. The whole way they went about this is not even the normal way they would do an arrest. You know what I'm saying? But when they're doing an investigation on YSL right now, man, they pulled up phones, text messages, jail calls, everything, bro, is out there already, bro.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You see the difference?
Yeah.
You see the difference? In this case, they couldn't find shit. Everything, we lost it. We never did test, Kelsey for DNA. It was a whole bunch of, remember how I told you the other day? I can't remember if we was on here or we was talking in person. And I was like, yo, for the right amount of money, and you got that right amount of money, man, them police will make sure evidence get missing. Shit come up gone. Remember we was talking about that?
Yeah, that was on here, but that was off camera. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, motherfuckers still only make 60,000 to about 100,000, depending on what city you in, a year. All right, police officers are not rich, wealthy motherfuckers, bro. They're barely above. They're only $20,000-$30,000 above the normal amount people make per year. For blacks, you know what I'm saying? We make about 40. So what I'm saying is this, man. When you make that little bit of money and there's this much money attached to some shit, you could be swayed. I know they were saying that about Tory was trying to sway Megan and Kelsey, which could be a possibility behind that. But who do you think got more influence? Tory Lane or Roc Nation? We know what Desiree Perez did for this government. She turned in cartels, bro. So when he's talking, when Tory Lane's father is talking, he's trying to talk from a spiritual sense. It was something wrong or something very evil in that courtroom. Other people got that were in that courtroom, y'all seeing them going live, talking about how much energy was in that room. How as soon as the verdict came out, everybody in there erupted. They was even screaming, I think it was like, fuck Jay-Z for a minute, the whole Roc Nation. Like, they were saying it was chaos in that courtroom when that verdict had came out. And that only explains to me that you had a whole togetherness. And like I said, I haven't seen too many black families come together, act that way, and erupt that strongly if they knew a motherfucker did something wrong. They kind of sit there for support. You ain't even see OJ shit go down like that. And listen, for real, you know what I'm saying? This thing got away with murder, y'all. Y'all don't remember that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I ain't gonna say got away. You know, I technically we can say he couldn't get found guilty, but I think that the case against OJ was a lot stronger than this case against Tory.
Yeah.
I just think he had a better defense, and it wasn't no money on the opposite side. I think Rock Nation had a lot of influence and they could pull a lot of strings. And so we want to get into this video, y'all. Like I said, listen to understand what his father said. I think everything else from the clip where it gets to where Tory is talking, I think everything that he's saying is pretty transparent to all of us. But let's rock that if you ain't got nothing you want to throw in between there.
I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z. Yes. You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Todd and Alex Bart.
Pause real quick, my bad, pause. I want you to pay attention to what he just said. He said the one and only independent witness met with them the day before. And when they got to that courtroom before they went to testify and went up there and talked to the Alex cat he's talking about and one of the other people from Rock Nation, and mind you, this is the defense witness, said when he came back downstairs, he wouldn't even shake the lawyer's hands. Did you peep what he just said?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild, bro. We can go ahead.
And then the man came back and got dirty. It's not over. God does not lose. And even though we've come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail. I know that this is wickedness. This district attorney, Miss Kathy Todd.
Let's get into this. I want to get into this because it's very important to me to just say this, and I'm not here to bash this woman.
One quick pause, real quick, too, on this. For everybody, for context purposes right now, for everybody who's not familiar or never seen this video of Tory right here, this video of him is 2 years ago. This was maybe like 5 months after the incident. The only time to this day you could do as much research as you want and not find any other statement from Tory Lanez. This was the only time that he bucked. He didn't even hit the stand in his own trial to tell his side of the story at that time. And that means that evidence didn't seem like it was stacked against you. Otherwise, man, if you, Demon Watching, let me ask you a question. If you're on trial for your life for a murder that you didn't commit, what could stop you from getting on that? What would be the only reason you feel comfortable not getting up on that stand and telling what happened?
That I knew it was a clear-cut case that I was gonna win. Everything was gonna come in my favor. So that's the only way that I'm not gonna get on the stand if my life is on the line. It gotta be clear-cut. There's no way that it's gonna go against me. or not in my favor, I'm not gonna get on the stand. And that's how he probably felt, or his team felt like, yo, Tory, we got this in the bag. We not gonna get on the stand, and we don't gotta put you on there because, and plus, whatever defense that they had against Tory, they probably felt like it was a weak case. The stuff that they had and the stuff that they revealed, like him as a rapper, you know what I mean? He stuff that allegedly that he did, like that had nothing to do with the case. You know what I
Well,
mean?
his lawyers, the defense team, thought it was a good idea not to put him on the stand because the prosecutors gave a list of things they were definitely going to ask Tory about, and none of them pertained to the case. They was going to ask him about the August Alsina situation. I think it's another little situation he got into. He had some previous charges, but he was never convicted of any of them. I think they were thrown out. And they were lightweight. It wasn't nothing serious, man. It was no felony, or he'd have been deported.
Yeah,
So a bunch of shit that didn't have nothing to do with what was going on. And because the defense felt so strongly about how the case was looking in their favor at that time, they thought it wouldn't be worth putting him up on that stand just for the prosecutors to deliberately try to destroy his character, with nothing that's factual, which is how that whole case went. It wasn't anything factual that prosecution had provided at any point in time, for real. So they was thinking that, man, we're gonna save you that shit. This shit is a wrap. We getting up out of here for sure. This right here, him going live was 2 years ago. This was the same year, within a 5-month, 6-month span of right after the incident happened. Pay attention to what he says. Go ahead, Demon Watson.
This woman, I'm not here to disrespect her or throw her under the bus, but it comes to a certain standpoint where I just can't let my character be assassinated for things that are not even really true, like and for falsified narratives and information. Let's start this off. When the original report came out, and it was a TMZ report about this, that, and the third, and there was gunshots in Kylie Jenner's house, and Tory Lanez goes to jail. They gave y'all all the facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail, and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested, and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're going to make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. I'm like, okay, I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, it's not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever it's like. I didn't get for that 2 days why that was an issue. 2 days later, TMZ report come out. TMZ reports and have the surveillance now. Now they see the video of the arrest. You see Megan, you see me, and you see it's all sprawled out on the ground in bathing suits and blah, blah, blah. And everything I'm saying is public record. You can go back and look at it. You can go back and see it. Like, you feel me? So they say, oh, okay, you see her out of the car, she's getting out of the car, she's hopping. It looks bad, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I felt bad watching it because it made her look bad, and it didn't make her look good. It didn't make any of us look good. And I didn't want that for her. I don't see that for anybody. So all of a sudden, when we get arrested, or when it looks like we all got arrested, the memes start. Now I want to really bring you guys in for a second so you can understand something. And I really just want you to take this in. Like, she is a person I spent enough time with her to observe and understand something about her, where it's like she's going through a lot. She goes through a lot. She deals with a lot on her day-to-day basis. And because of that, she's not used to, and not even just because of that, but just because of the fact that she's been praised so much. We've always looked at her as like, yo, that's hip-hop sweetheart. Like, she's nice, she's talented, whatever the case is, cool. And because of that, like, we've never seen a moment where the memes have come at her, where the memes are like, yo, nigga, let's laugh at your pain. Ah, ha, ha, ha. She's never had to deal with that because she's always been praised. So everything that's been happening has been a reaction off of what's been going on. So it gets down to this point now where it's like, now the reports are starting to say, okay, well, everyone's pointing to different things. No one really knows what's happened, but nobody has ever said she got shot. Nobody has ever said she got shot. Not TMZ, not the police report at this point. Nothing is saying that she got shot. As soon as she sees herself on video with the bikini and things like that, and it looks bad, she then comes out and says, yo, narrative of me getting cut by glass, it's not true. She doesn't point at nobody or anybody or say anything or anything like that. She just says the narrative that whatever came out of me being cut by glass is not true. I was shot in my feet with the intention to harm me and put harm and danger upon me, right? So, okay, cool. Like all of a sudden, the affiliates of her circle start pointing like little subliminal fingers, like count your days and like I won't be around and we shooting and beating, like little funny things that they start doing. And I'm kind of like, damn, hold on, where are y'all about to take this? Because y'all told me not to make a statement.
That's why I say Jay-Z's part of the evil industry.
So I'm trying to figure out where y'all taking me to. I don't get it. So then the at this point she goes live because people are not really understanding the story or whatever cases. She waits. She doesn't go on, a time when it's just a regular time. For y'all who don't understand, it was one of those things where me and her knew what was going on, but y'all didn't know what was going on. She went live on my birthday, and then she says, "Yo, and the thing about the whole jury thing is like, my bad. She knew that it wasn't a situation where, like, she knew she had to do certain sympathetic things, I guess, to push the narrative. And I don't know who told her to do certain things like that. And I'm not the one who's trying to like ever point the finger at anybody. But when it really comes down to it, it's like you went on live on your birthday, and then you said on my birthday, and then you said I got shot in my foot, and it didn't hit no bones or tendons. So everybody's looking at this, and again, the internet is a sick place.
We people to stick together instead of tearing each other down. The reason I created that word.
So, and shout out to Prophet Muscle, man, for putting that clip together real quick. So you kind of get the gist of it, right? I think that whole total, when he went live that day, was about 20 or 30 minutes of him trying to explain what happened without being explained, not being able to explain what happened. Like you heard him, like he made basically almost an agreement not to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? So, like all the narratives have been painted for Meg for real, but it was hard for most people to say they didn't think that he shot her prior to us coming to this trial. There's a lot of motherfuckers like, nah, I don't know about that. He probably did that. He probably did that shit. Because just we didn't have no real information, and the shit Megan kept saying kept changing. It was kind of, motherfuckers was like, I don't give the doubt to her because they I have the gall not to come shoot you first or come shoot you back, my bad, rather. I'm definitely not going to go public saying you shot me unless I'm a snitch in my lifestyle. Now, if you're a regular civilian, you'll go ahead and say that shit from day one because you probably did nothing to merit getting shot in the first place. It's probably some thirsty dude that was trying to rob you or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So there's two scenarios where you're going to go public and you're going to say it as soon as it happens. I believe the narrative gets painted, bro, because he gave you a timeline of when she did this shit. It's this narrative that gets painted that women have the right not to tell the truth immediately because of fear. Okay, they do it all the time in rape cases. And in the case of Bill Cosby, man, you talking about some of these women didn't say nothing for 20, 30 years? Why the fuck you saying something now? If at the time period, if you want to use your MO as fear, in Megan's case, what created the first bit of doubt for me was the fact that you, as soon as you got to them hospital, you didn't tell them that you had been shot. You're not around the police. You are in the hospital. Now, they do have to call someone in there, but they will call a unit in there that they will look at, will hope would be trying to protect you, and they'll be taking a statement right then and there. As far as Tory, Kelsey, and the bodyguard, if they all went to jail, they're already in the county. They're not booked in, but they're in the holding cell at this point. You know what I'm saying? Changed them out, got them out of their regular clothes. Some counties don't let you wear your regular clothes. They just take like the shoes or certain shit, or your shoestrings, certain shit like that. LA County, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they got dressed out pretty damn quick in that motherfucker and placed somewhere, private, so they not getting fucked with. But a wholesale. So then they knew they was making bonds, so they always gonna be up out of there. But they're in a place where you can't get away easily with killing him if you're thinking about protecting black men, which is her story. They're already they're in process. So you have the opportunity to tell the truth at that point. She didn't tell the truth till 4, 5, 6 days later, or tell her side of what happened till 4 or 5 days later, bro. Which to me created doubt from the get-go. And people always try to use that if it's a woman. And I think that's a biggest cop-out. Oh, I was scared of this. I was scared of that. Oh, I was so traumatized after it happened. Motherfucker, you couldn't have been if you ain't saying shit as soon as you feel safety. I know for another fact. You get shot today. You go to the hospital. When they see that bullet in you, they calling the police again, bro. They calling them. If the officers that dropped you off or brought you there did not notice you was shot, you damn sure can't trick no doctors. So if nobody thinks you get shot, now it makes sense to not really take DNA on the gun. Take DNA in the mail because there's nothing we could do where they ain't gonna take fingerprints and DNA, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you don't take it at a girl. You know what I mean? You check for the gunpowder residue. You find it on both of them, but they don't have anything else after that. This is too familiar, man. It's way too familiar.
I want to add in something because we always hear this narrative: protect the black woman, protect the black woman, protect the black woman. We hear this narrative all the time. And I always say to myself, where does the black woman not get protected? Today is a prime example of how, in my opinion, that black women, they get protected. This was a clear-cut case to say the justice system was on the black woman's side. Despite her going on the stand and despite other people lying in the case and changing their story, it still was in her favor. And like I said,
no, go ahead, bro.
Nah, let me just say this. And Ivy, he alluded to this earlier. Whenever a high profile celebrity that is a black male or a black male goes into the court system, it doesn't go in their favor. Not gonna say all the time, but a lot of times it doesn't. So I remember in one of our previous videos, you had those two simps. You had Tony and Anthony. They were saying, oh yeah, you know, the black man, he got to stop blaming the government and blah, blah, blah. This is a prime example right here. When you leave it in the justice system's hands, look at what happens. Despite all the lies and changing the stories and all of this evidence getting taken away, whatever, look who's the victim at the end of the day. Then you have a black man again, when those two said, a black man is now being taken away from his kid because of who? This woman. And so then you also hear these two simps, I'm going to say Anthony and Tony again, that said, oh yeah, the black men are in the home, blah, blah, blah. But just so you won't take accountability as a woman, you're gonna You're going to make up a whole lie, which takes a man away from his kid, allegedly. And then you take him away from his family. You seen how emotional the father was? He was hurt. All for what? So everyone, like Ivy said earlier, is losing in this situation.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ivy. I cut you off, bro. Go ahead. I just want to get that in there.
The thing about it, I don't think she understands is you've lost all credibility now, Meg. It don't matter what the outcome of that jury is. The outcome of that jury was never going to be a victory for you anyway. You're going to have to deal. If you lying, Meg, I'm talking to you, horse face motherfucker. If you lying, man, you're going to have a lot of days when you're not going to be able to think about shit else but what you just did. You got to live with this shit. You got to live with it. Rest of us, we going to move on. But see, she going to have to deal with that. And karma a motherfucker. That's going to be hard to deal with. It's going to be hard to focus. You probably burnt a lot of bridges now. Because a lot of motherfuckers is like, I'm still not fucking with her. We still know. You can't take away the fact you lied in the courtroom. You lied to Gayle King. We've seen a pattern of everything that allegedly we've heard other people say about you. So boom, your career is not going to be the same after this. Kelsey probably going to go back 5 years from now. Won't nobody remember she was even involved in this shit. This is the crazy part. On the 27th of January, or either the 23rd, when sentencing is set, we're going to find out how many years of his life he's going to lose. Because of a lie, though. That's fucked up. Who's the winner in this situation? Who wins?
Nobody. And I just want to add this, even though we didn't have the full clip, but in his statement, he not once disrespected her, called her out her name, said anything.
I did several times, nigga. Go ahead.
Not you, Ivy.
I just didn't want. Don't discredit me, nigga. I need all mine. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying Tory. He didn't do it. He conducted himself like a gentleman. And the thing is, in the fight, like what you said earlier, he didn't even partake in his own case against him. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, that's huge. I think all of them are looking at that, especially his family and probably Tory more than anything, is looking at that as a big mistake right now. Huge mistake. Probably the biggest mistake they made. Probably the only one they made, because I think it was a landslide anyway. But I think that it was important dealing with the jury again. We're talking about the human being jury. These are, I don't know what y'all know about jury or being on a jury. These people do not go to college to be on a jury. Nobody is educated about what they have to be responsible for, logically, humanely, and realistically. And these are regular people off the streets. Once again, I think we mentioned this in the episode we put out the other day. Man, at the maximum, I'm not sure. I still haven't did the research to see what the exact amount is in California. But I know in 2000 in Ohio, it was $15 a day or either $17 a day for jury duty. Imagine that for 2 full weeks. You're missing work and you still got bills, and it's Christmas.
That's $105. No, not $105. I'm lying. That's $75 a week. Times that by 2, that's $150 2 weeks.
And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's went up, but I'm willing to take a Vegas bet all day that it's no more. It's not more than $75 a day at this point.
And where I'm from is $50 a day. I know in some places is way less than that, but where I'm from, $50.
Yeah, 50 is the highest amount I've heard in my lifetime. Now, I'm just gonna say, because case scenario, this is LA. Let's just say, and the cost of living is a tad bit higher than Boston. Let's just say it's $75 a day, bro.
Okay.
Let's just say it's $75 a day is lower than most states' minimum wage. So most people who make minimum wage are still making more money a day than the juror is.
Right.
So these people got to get back to the reality of paying bills. I think a lot of times they may not take the time to fully think out and process what's going on. They just settle amongst each other so they can get the fuck out of there. It's a strategy all prosecutions use. The prosecution gonna wear their ass out, drain them with a whole bunch of nonsense, and then at the end of the day, they so tired and so ready to get this shit over with, they compromise amongst themselves.
Right. And I think, and again, this is all alleged. I think that that if they would have voted not in his favor, because again, I mean, I served on jury duty, so this is what I'll say. If it, like, just say the plaintiff, if they find him guilty, right? It could just be a simple, he's guilty on all 3 counts. Boom. But now if he's voted not guilty, it won't be just him not guilty. It'll be not guilty, and then they got to go through extra steps. And like you said, it's a jury and they're people. And they got Christmas shopping, they got all these other things to do. They don't want to sit there and go through those whole steps. So they're like, all right, we just gonna vote him not guilty. I mean, we're just gonna vote him guilty. And that gets us to go home easier than actually sitting there and going through those fine details, like what you said.
You can have 11 people saying he's not guilty. That one motherfucker who stands firm on saying, I don't give a fuck. I think they had, what was it, 4 black women, right? Let's say one of them is a huge Megan Thee Stallion fan. I think one of the young ladies in there was 26, 28. We don't know what lifestyles none of these people are living, but we know they're all living in Los Angeles. So we all know that for this part, they're American, they're citizens in this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Let's just say she's a huge Megan Thee Stallion fan. If she just adamantly stands on her no and is not going against it because she believes in, sisterhood, or she feminist or whatever, she could make the rest of that jury be like, fuck it. We gonna say they not guilty because we know this bitch ain't gonna budge. Bitch, you know you dead wrong, but fuck it, it ain't our problem. We going home.
Right.
They can get so frustrated with that one that all of them can forget about what they there for and and step your ass goodbye so they can get back to their lives. So they can get back to their life. There's only one black man on that jury. Just want to let you know that out of the 12.
Right. And I'm like, dang, I can only imagine how Tory feels. He leaves it up to chance. And again, he has a no say. You've never heard his full side of it. You've never heard it full side, and he gets on all counts guilty.
Yeah. That's deep,
crazy,
bro.
So Ivy, imagine this, right? Imagine you going to court and you're getting tried for something or tried for something, and you never had no say, and it doesn't go in your favor, bro. You have no say.
I took the stand on my case. You know what I'm saying? But also, I was 20 years old at the time, and I just couldn't fathom the thought these motherfuckers playing with my life, and I don't get to say nothing about it. So I took the stand in my case, in my trial. I had no co-defendant in court with me. There was nobody else. It was me they was looking at, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I didn't testify on anybody. or I testify on my behalf.
Mm-hmm.
So what the state was accusing me of, that was my fighting chance of making sure they didn't put my ass in prison. But like I said, however, you're convincing people to see things from your lens that have never walked a day in your shoes, that don't even understand black men for that matter. And this is why I always be saying it's important, about what we're supporting and these narratives they paint in these movies. Because think about it like this. If you are Hispanic, white, from India, Asian, you know what I'm saying, from anywhere from South America, and you only be around your culture. You never really been around black men. You can easily believe everything you see on TV. You can easily believe that. I've met people who really thought that way, and they try not to be the assholes they are about it, but they really assume that what you see in these music videos, what you see in these movies, and then what the news loves to show you whenever black men commit crimes in any neighborhood, they'll put that on full blast, but they ain't putting up the dirty white that's over there off of meth and blew up a lab the other day. Okay. Telling you the real.
Yeah.
So they get that perception dealt in their head. So that, like I said, that jury of peers is very important, man. But it'll never be that way. And when we're voting, when you talking to stupid ass Democrat, Republican shit, and when it comes down to voting for the judges and everything, when y'all talking about voting for these state positions, y'all need to be demanding that out of these motherfuckers. But see, that's what happened when you don't got any real strong black men involved in the politics. Once again, all you got is a bunch of thieves and liars that are black men involved in politics. And that's all across the board, every state, every level. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that you should be demanding out of these judges before they get in office. It should be a lot of laws that could be changed that we should be in control of that won't put us in such a disadvantage. This has got to be one of those things that I think as a culture we need to look into. We've lost a lot of black men to the fact that we're getting judged by juries of people that are not us. That are not us. That's a hard fight to win. It's hard to convince somebody who comes from a whole different culture to see the way we live.
Right. Agree.
But ain't nothing funny, man. So I've seen a lot of negative energy with people celebrating this man going to jail. I understand there's a lot of people that took sides based off of celebrity, whatever. But man, you gotta be, and I'm gonna say this, man. It says a lot about your character if you black and you celebrating a black man going to jail. We ain't none of us there to know what really happened, but you celebrating a black man going to jail based off this evidence. This is a lot about your character. That shows a lot about what type of person you are.
It's very weak, but you can't leave it to a jury, in my opinion. And I feel like as black men, and this is the part where I'm gonna say proactive measures that could have been done. I don't know about the whole case, but just what I've seen, and this is just my opinion at the end of the day, I feel like when you see the red flags, you gotta get out of the situation. And a lot of us, we don't think with this head right here, we think with the head down there. And I felt like Tory in this situation, he's seen stuff before this day where he should have exited out. And let this be a lesson to men. If you see certain things from women that's kind of off, you gotta kind of like distance yourself from that, because then you'll be in a court fighting for your life, and you may not have no say in that situation. Go ahead.
Like I said, that was all choice. You know, if Tory wanted to hit that stand, he could have told his defense, "I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna talk and tell what the fuck happened, man. You know what I'm saying? He could have did that. There's nothing they can do to stop him. He has to give up that right to go and plead his case. However, my thing is this. It's crazy because if the story that we heard from this Sean dude is true, they got in a fight. Kelsey pulled this gun. Tori got out, got gunpowder on him because she fired 2 more times while they struggled to get the gun out of her hand. And if it all went down like the story he told, and similar to the one that the eyewitness neighbor told, bruh, if that is true, a man just went to prison behind a woman lying on him, bro. Making up a story to destroy a dude because she mad at him. And that's the part that's hard for me to swallow because, like I said, we wasn't there. Nobody was there. But based off of that fucking evidence, where the person who's saying they got shot lie on the stand, story was different than the opening statements. She was the first witness to go up, bro. Nobody went before Meg. They make opening statements, then Megan Thee Stallion come on there, and both of them stories contradicted each other. From the prosecutor's opening statements to Meg hitting the stand right after that, they were already in a contradiction. The third witness that was brought up was Kelsey. Kelsey got immunity. What do you need immunity for if you ain't do nothing wrong? I'm just giving a summary real quick about what we just seen and how disgusting this is, bro. She got immunity. If you were just did any other eyewitness get immunity?
No. That's how I know.
Why? Because they didn't need immunity. They were witnesses. You only need immunity if your ass did something. Kelsey could come out right now off of that immunity, go on Instagram Live, and be like, that's crazy, man. Y'all put that man in jail because I shot that bitch. And it's nothing the state of California can do. They can't. She's got immunity from the case, bro. That was the whole reason why they gave her, the prosecution gave her immunity. Then she got up there probably consciously and was like, I can't send this nigga to jail for some shit that I know he didn't do. So I don't know. I plead the fifth. I don't know. I wasn't looking. Yeah, she was drunk. Yeah, she gave up a little comments that she gave up. Basically attesting to both of their characters that night. And then anything they got into, was you fighting? Did you see a gun pulled? Did you see? Nope, she didn't see none of that. That ain't that. When that is the details of the situation, it is hard for me to believe that this nigga shot her, or even shot at her for that matter, or even had a gun for that matter. It's just hard for me to believe that. Then the one motherfucker who's the fucking driver comes, finally gives his testimony, says that both of the girls was fighting. Kelsey pulled the pistol and got to shooting at Meg, man. He said, only eyewitness. They probably took him right up there before he hit that stand, gave him a bag, or right after, promised him a bag. And homeboy just didn't give everything that he could have gave, but he was the only motherfucker that was credible. And you see how the family said that he treated him right after that, how they treated him. So what I'm saying to you is, in that case, Tory should have definitely, I guarantee in hindsight, and I think all of us right now, looking at it in hindsight, like, damn, nigga, you going to jail, and we still ain't heard your side of the story. I think he's saying the same thing right now.
And so I also want to bring up another point that was brought up. And I mean, we touched upon it a little bit as well. The money that was behind Megan Thee Stallion. Whereas she was managed by Roc Nation, and Roc Nation is ran by Jay-Z and Des Perez, right? So you know that there was a lot of money that was put behind this within her prosecuting team, and things that are not adding up as far as like there were no cameras in the room and things of that nature. She
Yeah,
was
but
an investment, Megan.
yeah,
And
that's
go ahead.
true. That's
Go ahead.
true. But this is one thing I know about artists like Meg that you got to realize. Megan has more popularity than she has success in music right now. She hasn't made nobody, and they're just managing her. They don't own the owner music, own rights to shit. They're just a management company.
Right.
So their stakes aren't high enough to be present with her during this prosecution. They were strongly presently with her and had a lot of influence. And like you said, that whole bag was available for her. But for what? Where do you remember where the only things that Kelsey and Megan said mutually that I think nobody had misunderstood? The prosecution asked both of them how they met Tory. Both of them said at a Rock Nation brunch party. What happened at that Rock Nation brunch party? Who the fuck did Tory piss off at that party? They wanted him to sign. I remember that shit vividly, like, because I kept hearing this nigga's name because he was doing the what's the name, the quarantine music and shit. I kept hearing it about a couple little things. He was buzzing a little bit before that. And I remember Rock Nation had interest in signing him. He stayed independent. He must have told somebody something about theyself there. And then I think out of spite, Rock Nation got involved behind Megan.
Right. And you know that's why his father, they voiced their discern as far as Rock Nation, and Tory voiced his discern about Rock Nation. Go ahead, bro.
He said he got a call from Rock Nation 2 days after the incident happened. He said he was about to come clean about what happened then. And this is before Megan even said the nigga shot her. He just broke that down. He said 2 days after he told them, all right, he ain't gonna make no statement, she come out saying she got shot. She do the live saying she got shot. Then we seen her twerking that weekend.
Right.
Same week. Same week, bro.
Right.
A lot of people be like, conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory that. That's why I was glad that part of that video was on there. Once again, big shout out to Prophet Muscle. But man, that was 2 years ago when he did that video. And he was speaking about Rock Nation.
Right.
We all seen the role they played in that courtroom for this trial. We all seen how prevalent, how Desiree made sure her force and her power, her connections and everything that she was a part of was in that motherfucker, bro.
Right. And you know, Des Perez, this is public. Yo, she's cooperated with the authorities before.
She's turned in multiple cartels, bro. I think she told on either the third largest cartel ever or the biggest cartel ever. She orchestrated a bus for over, it was either 900 or 90 kilos. No, she got caught with something like 90 and turned over a cartel. It was some shit like that, bro. She got caught with like 30, 60, or 90, something like that. And she turned, either way it go. How did she get in this position of running the biggest record label basically at this point from selling dope and getting caught and turning informant? That doesn't that make a lot of sense to me, bro. How does that work out? Obviously you wouldn't managing no artist. I said she obviously wasn't managing no artist. When she got caught with all them kilos, she was selling dope.
Right.
So how the fuck did she get in that position, man? It's a lot of crazy things that go along with this shit, man. Sometimes the situation is way bigger than what we're seeing in our face.
Right.
And I think what we see in our face, this case between Megan and Tory, was not a case about Megan and Tory and if he actually shot her or not. I think it's pretty obvious what happened in this case. This case was about something else. It was about something else, which we don't have an idea about yet.
Yeah, but only time will tell, and the truth the truth will reveal itself.
Yeah, it will. It's appeal court is a lot different from actually going on your first jury trial. Once he's up for appeal, he's going in front of a 3-judge panel. Those people have went to school and are educated on how to pay attention to detail, look for certain information that would implicate somebody beyond a reasonable doubt. And we can see how a jury can be an error and you can end up in jail. That's not going to happen on a 3-judge panel. And then on the 3-judge panel, you only have to get 2 of the 3 to agree with you being not guilty. So he got very strong odds, just period, off of what we know that was presented in court today. It's almost guaranteed he'll win the appeal. The only thing is, are they going to give him a faster, speedy appeal, or are they going to make him wait this shit out? That's yet to be determined. He's not even getting sentenced till next month. That's a month away. This nigga, and this is not funny at all, because I've had a brother and a homeboy go to jail a day or 2 before Christmas. But this nigga went to jail for Christmas, man.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro.
That is wild.
Say if they Christian or whatever and celebrate this date, bro, his gift was a jail cell.
Crazy.
Can't be with his daughter and his son. Daughter and son had to watch him get handcuffed and took out the courtroom today, bro.
Crazy. Yo, a son and a mother seen it. Well, father and a mother seen their son get taken out of a courtroom. Family members, close people to him, seen him get taken out of a courtroom. So a lot of people will be affected by this one, and I mean,
it's funny because not to cut you off, man.
No, go ahead, bro.
Just to say on some of the symbolism that we see. It could have been any rapper, right? That could have been accused of this shit. We know most of these rappers come from projects, hoods. Definitely if they was in a court case. Like, look at YSL, man. You don't see a lot of family support in there. It's, probably his mama, grandma, couple cousins, and the rest leeches. You know what I'm saying? You see a family structure with Tory. And then you see that be destroyed by a woman that has no family structure at all. Mama ain't here no more, totally hurting, in pain. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
She showed up to the courtroom with an entourage. He showed up with his family, man. You see a son getting taken away, like you said. A father and a mother was there to watch him get taken away, and then he's the father to a boy and a girl, and they had to watch him get taken away. That is very symbolic. That explains this case in a nutshell. And to our culture, that's what this case kind of meant to us. It was symbolically of how often this happens. Not just like you gotta imagine how often this happens. Fuck the celebrities right now. How often does this happen in regular neighborhoods right now? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things, because it's crazy that the guy, the man, the one they tried to make the villain in this, had all the family structure, well dressed, carrying himself with. You could tell he was raised in a good household, bro.
Right. And I want to say this in here as well, because here on Plug Talk, we talk about family and things like that. And I just want to piggyback what is being said as well. This is not a man walking away from his family. This is a man that was taken away from his family. So the narrative that gets thrown out is that, oh yeah, black men, they leave their homes and they leave us to be single. No, this is a man. He was taken away from his family in a place to where there was, and again, we weren't there. So what we're saying here is alleged. He was taken away from his home unjustly, and he didn't even have say. He didn't take the stand. So we don't know what his side was. And that's what happens a lot as well, too. We hear a lot of women say, oh, yeah, he's a no good father. He wasn't in his children's life. And a lot of the fathers never say their side of the story, or you never hear what's going on with them.
Now you're gonna have to, the child will have to wait till they're grown, reach out to their father, sit down and ask the father them questions, and the father's his obligation is to be honest with them from his accord what happened, because you're only getting on one side of the story. Even in this case right here, you still only have gotten one side of the story. You know what I'm saying? The man in this story still hasn't got he still haven't had a chance to speak. Well, he had a chance, but he hasn't spoken on it yet. But he had a chance for sure. You know, and he should have took that chance, man. And to be honest with you, bro, you know what I'm saying? I know in the case of mine, I did, but it was nowhere near a landslide like his shit looking. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that narrative why they didn't do it. I understand the narrative. But whenever your life is on the line, man, and you in a situation like that, a situation like I was, it's in your best interest to get up there and say something. Because if you don't ever open your mouth, whatever somebody perceives you as is going to stand. For prime example, I got a mouthful of gold teeth, bro. I dress urbanly, keep my hat tilted to the side, or all type of motherfucking ways. Right. If you just see me open my mouth from a distance, see all these golds, you're going to assume one type of individual. Mm-hmm. Now, once I open my mouth, I got the power to change the whole way you were looking at me.
Right.
And he denied himself that. You know, them jurors could have been looking at him like, yeah, he looks like a thug. His face looks kind of rough. You know, whatever stereotypes they wanted to give. But you never opened your mouth. So at that, you didn't give yourself an opportunity to kill every stereotype. And like I said, I think the defense was looking at it from the narrative. We don't want them to drain out the jury any longer with them trying to bash our client. Well, you got to understand that they're going to try to bash. He needs to know how to answer some questions. You need to prep him. And then when it comes back to y'all side, you get to change the narrative. You get to rewrite the script.
Right.
Now you can ask the questions that tell the facts. That was a bad move on the defense side for sure. I don't know how much he paid them attorneys, but this is the part of law I be telling motherfuckers about, that all the lower level motherfuckers, all the guys, the black dudes that got felonies, whether you was right or wrong, just or unjustly, man. The fact of the matter is we all know how we get railroaded in these court systems. Railroaded. To where you might take your last $20,000, pay this lawyer for this case, and he still sell you down the fucking commode.
Right.
Yo, a lawyer lies to everybody every day. That's his job.
Mm-hmm.
That's his job. So it's a lot of things that I can see the room for error. But if you telling me we can send a black man to prison, he's facing up to 25 years. I don't know when any of the minimums are. But if you're telling me we can send somebody to prison because of a small technicality or room for error, any of that can be created. We talking about racist jury, uninformed jury. We talking about lack of evidence. We talking about lack of police work to supply the proper amount of evidence. All of these major, OJ beat a murder, bro. OJ beat a murder because they proved that the glove found in the scene, his hand couldn't fit.
Right.
You had Kelsey and the driver both say they did not see Tory fire no gun. So the only motherfucker that's saying Tory fired a gun right now is Megan. None of their stories match. That's contradiction. Right there, that means that there's reason to doubt. So we're saying that from the case of Tupac, case of Mike Tyson, and right now we're using these cases because these are cases that dealt directly with black women that years after these niggas had to go to prison, come out, readjust their careers, we've come to find out them women were fucking lying. It didn't even take for this nigga to get sentenced yet, we know this broad lying.
Yeah. Right.
Kelsey admitted she lied.
Right. Right.
And we feel comfortable sending the black. Like I said, if you're happy about this and the way we look as a culture right now, it shows a lot about your character.
Right.
It shows a lot about your character.
So I've
seen motherfuckers celebrate. Kevin said, like right now, man, we gotta look at ourselves, bro. People celebrated Kevin Samuels dying, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Now you celebrate seeing another black man go to jail. Who hate us that bad, bro?
Yo, I don't know. I don't know, man. The system, they hate us.
Who they using against us?
They're using everybody against us. Everything. Everybody. So what I'll say this, man. Black men, create your own narrative or somebody's going to create it for you. And in this case, like what Ivy said, he should have said something. This is a man that, again, I want to reiterate this. We never heard his side of the story. And probably we will never hear his side of the story. And he's facing time in prison off of a lack of evidence and things and lies and contradictions.